name is Zoe. I'm the Tipsy Psychic, and today I'm going to talk to you about balancing out your chakras. Chakras are energy centers in your body, and when one of them is out of whack, your whole life can feel out of whack. And we hear a lot about aligning your chakras. Physically, your bottommost chakra is in your tailbone. It's called your root chakra. And then it goes all the way to the top of your head, which is your crown chakra. And when one of these chakras isn't getting the balance that it needs, it isn't healthy, then you are going to feel it. You're going to feel it in your physical life. You're going to feel it in your emotional life. A while back, I did make a video on chakras. It gives you a brief introduction to them, and it tells you kind of what symptoms you might experience if you have a chakra that's imbalanced. So make sure you look at that. It's a good introduction to chakras, good reference. So there's a lot of generic information out there about crystals or candles or incense or different things you can do to make your chakras more aligned or whatever. But today we're going to approach it differently. The truth is, you can't just target one chakra. If you want to align your chakras, you have to understand that they all work together. Chakras are like Maslow's pyramid of needs. On the bottom, you have these really basic, fundamental, physiological needs, right? Things that you can't survive with. You can't thrive if you're constantly worried about your needs, right? So that's kind of how it is with chakras. And if your bottom chakra is off, all the chakras above that are going to be off. So it doesn't matter how many gurus you go to and they tell you, oh, I can sense that your throat chakra is off. You know, it doesn't matter. Today we're going to learn how to really bring your body back into balance and finding a sense of safety, security, and actually getting to know whether these chakras are actually balanced or imbalanced. So you don't have to take anyone else's word for it. You can tune into you and decide whether your body is in need of some love and what areas of your life really need it. Like I said, it's like Maslow's pyramid of needs, and you need to start from the bottom and work your way up. And the same goes with chakras. So you need to start with your root chakra and then go to your sacral chakra and then so on and so forth. You cannot start with your third eye chakra. If the rest of your chakras are crying out for help and they are super imbalanced, then of course what you do to your third eye chakra will not make a difference. If it seems like it's making a difference, it's very temporary. I can promise you that. It's not sustainable because you need a firm foundation. And that's what I want you to think of the root chakra as. The root chakra is your foundation. So no matter how balanced you feel it is, you need to always be thinking this way. Always be thinking from the bottom up. So in my previous video, I did talk about the root chakra and what it looks like when it's balanced and imbalanced. But just to give you some more ideas, it represents your physiological needs. It's your stability. It's your ability to be secure and not constantly in survival mode. So think about it. When you are in fight or flight mode, right? When you're in survival mode and you're on your toes, you know, and you're constantly worried about whether you're going to get enough to eat or whether you have enough, you know, whether you have a roof over your head, you are not going to be able to live your life the way you want to live it. You're not gonna thrive. So if you're in survival mode, you can't feel safe. And if you're wondering why your life isn't going the way you want it to and why you don't feel comfortable where you are, comfortable with who you are, then you need to start at the beginning. There is no way you can have a healthy sex life if you feel like you are being run ragged or you're constantly worried or you don't feel secure, you know? And a lot of people, as they get older, they lose their libido. Why? Well, they need to look at their root chakra. We'll get to the sacral chakra, but if they are feeling like they're constantly stressed out and constantly worried, then they are not going to feel safe enough to find pleasure. Because when you're running from a bear, the last thing you think about is pleasure, you know? The last thing you think about is, I wonder if this will look good on me tonight, or wow, this feels amazing. You know, like that's not what you think about. You can't care for other people if you can't even find time for yourself. This is how a lot of newborn parents feel, because they are constantly putting their needs aside to take care of this other human being, and they wake up in the middle of the night every few hours taking care of them, and it's like a lot. Or this is how people feel out of college, and they're living paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. Unfortunately, in this country, that's how a lot of us are living. How can you feel confident if you don't have security? So how do we fix this? How do we balance it? Well, you need to look at your basic human needs. So number one, breathe. Breathing is so important, and it's what every human being on this planet needs. And it might seem counterintuitive to actually need to reteach yourself to breathe, but the truth is, most people don't know how to breathe properly. So if you're not breathing right, then you are not going to feel right. Try to be more conscious of how you're breathing. The second thing to ask yourself is, have I eaten today? Are you nourishing your body? Have you skipped a meal? Because believe it or not, your body can't tell the difference between being attacked by a bear and missing a meal, especially if you are constantly in survival mode and you have, hunger cravings and things like that. That is stress on your body. And in general, we need to eat. We need to nourish ourselves. And if you're skipping meals, then you are just kind of fucking with your root chakra right there. Number 3, are you hydrated? I know all this may seem really simple, but the truth is a lot of us forget and we're not taking care of ourselves. Sometimes what you need is to just stop what you're doing and go drink a big glass of water. So just make sure you're always replenishing your body. If your stores are depleted, then you are not going to have anything to go off of, and you're going to feel so shitty. The fourth thing is, are you wearing clothes that fit and are comfortable? Having clothes on your body is a basic fundamental need. I'm not saying you have to go shopping or anything, but make sure that you are wearing something that makes you feel good. Because if you're constantly wearing clothes that make you uncomfortable or aren't authentic to you, you're just gonna feel shitty. When I am wearing clothes that I love, I shop at the dollar store. Most of the clothes that I own, I buy at the 99-cent store or Five Below or the thrift store. I don't like to spend a lot of money on clothes. I'm not the kind of person that goes to the mall and goes shopping and buys all this stuff. And if you are, great, that's great for you, but that's not me. But I have found $1 t-shirts that make me feel so awesome, and I love them. And they boost my confidence and they make me feel good. So I'm not saying you have to spend a ton of money. Number 5, do you have a roof over your head? I'm not saying you're homeless. If you are, then, of course your root chakra is imbalanced, because, you don't have an environment that you feel safe and comfortable in that you can call home. And I think home means different things to different people. But some of us are in transition, right? You're moving. Maybe you are stuck staying with your parents for a while you deal with your messy divorce. Maybe you have to stay at somebody else's house. Maybe you're traveling for a year and you just don't really have any roots. There it is, that word, root chakra. But you need to feel a sense of home. If you're in a really noisy household with a lot of people, there was a time, in college when I could just crash on people's couches, but now I can't. And that's just the way it is. And the other thing is, even if you have a roof over your head, do you feel safe in it? If you're in a really abusive relationship or something and you don't feel safe in your own home, then you're not going to be okay. And another thing, number 6, is sleeping. Have you been sleeping well? When is the last time you had a full night's sleep? Also, do you turn off your electronics before bed? Do you give yourself a good sleeping environment? Are you constantly staring at screens all the time? Do you have a nice bed you can crawl into? I think one thing you should never feel guilty about is investing in sleep. Number 7 is, how is your digestion? A big part of the root chakra, especially where it's located, it has to do with digestion. If you are constantly feeling constipated, or you have diarrhea all the time, or IBS, or there's a lot of different signs, physical signs that you are not okay, when it comes to the root chakra. If things aren't moving down there, like, you need that system of elimination. There's different ways we eliminate toxins from the body. And yeah, so if you're having these digestion problems at all, then you know that your root chakra needs some love. And even if these needs are met, even if you have a roof over your head, or you don't always feel like you're unsafe, these are things that you should always be nurturing, always be taking the time to work on. And you have to build that foundation. For example, if you already are like, I got breathing down, I know how to breathe, then do some breath work. If you eat a healthy diet already and you're not worried about that, and you're pretty good at keeping up with that, then think about how you can add some more nutrient-dense food to your diet. Also, if you are hydrated and you're pretty good at drinking water, maybe just add 1 big glass of water every morning when you wake up. Or if you already love your wardrobe and you feel really happy in your clothes, then go do some decluttering. Make your closet space of like a heaven for you. Or just find more comfortable things to wear. And if you already have your perfect home, then do something to make you feel even more at home. Decorate it, feng shui the shit out of it, paint the walls, maybe start a garden. The 6th thing is, if you sleep super well, maybe try getting blackout curtains or a nicer pillow. If you're using the bathroom like a champ, maybe take a probiotic for gut health. So the root chakra, when imbalanced, can really make you feel like you're in survival mode. Your body is in fight or flight mode, and all the energy is directed to staving off threats, If you constantly feel on edge, or you feel stressed out or worried all the time, then you need to nurture your root chakra. All your energy is being spent on keeping you alive. And you could be using that energy for other things in your life, right? So if you're always feeling tired, always feeling exhausted, then it's really good to start here. So how else can you balance out your root chakra? There are different techniques, like grounding techniques. I think I just mentioned that. Anything you can do to really get back into your body, to feel in the moment, like exercising, walking in nature, like I said, breath work. Tune into your circadian rhythm. That means try to work on going to bed when it gets dark and waking up when the sun comes out. And really tuning into your body and getting it used to being on a schedule. Because being a night owl all the time is one way to really fuck with your root chakra. So you can eat a lot of root vegetables. You can get a colonic, do some lower back stretches. Gemstones like garnet, bloodstone, red jasper, black tourmaline. Just remember that you need to focus on your root chakra before you focus on other chakras. So I'm all for using these stones and crystals, but make sure that you're doing it in the correct order.